So I'm searching on Twitter, just trying to find things, and someone sends me a link. I figured, hey, this could be interesting. Didn't realise I would actually get cancer from reading it, and I now have to go and get chemo tomorrow. Look, all jokes aside, guys, this article is insane. I'm not sure if it's a real article or if it's a really, really good parody article. However, reading all the comments and everything that people have talked about this, I'm thinking it's actually real. And if that's the case, wow, the racism in this article is insane. Let's jump into it. Be warned, watching this video, you're probably going to need chemo at the end of it. America doesn't have a gun problem. We have a white people problem. Really? Straight off the bat. Moving along. Last August, as my wife and I and two friends biked through the Great Algamy Passage, I might be mispronouncing, in Mckempseyport, PA, which is I suppose Philadelphia, a city 12 miles from Pittsburgh, I joked that we probably won't see any more black people until Maryland. I was wrong. In the 150 miles between Pittsburgh and Cumberland, MD, we saw 4. And, yeah. Okay, so obviously at the end of the day, blacks are a minority in America. They only make up around 13 to 18%. You can't expect them to be in every town. But moving along. The death of black people on the GAP trail should be no surprise to anyone who's driven through Pennsylvania. A popular joke about the state is that Pittsburgh is on one side, Philadelphia on the other, and Alabama in between. The joke, of course, is that once you've left those metropolitan areas, you're surrounded by small towns and rural farmland. Oh, kind of sounds nice, actually. And surrounded by small towns and rural farmland is the empathetic way of saying surrounded by whiteness. That makes you sound a little bit racist there, dude. You're already sounding way over the top racist. Like I say, minority. You have a problem with a majority race being the majority in a country? That doesn't make sense to me. But moving along. Thing is that the dynamic isn't exactly unique to Pennsylvania. Regardless of where you are in the country, once you get 10 to 15 miles outside a city's greater metropolitan area, you're probably going to get a splash into the sea of white people. Yeah. That kind of sounds like a problem with the black community wanting to live in the cities. Hey, we can force them to live out in rural areas if you like. I don't know, you're the one suggesting things. And the sea probably won't end until you're near another city. It's so stark that you have no concept of America. If you ask an American where the black people live, they'll draw a small circle around the 30 largest cities, saying there, and mostly accurate. And then if you ask them where the white people live, they could say there too and anywhere else. Well, you need to talk to your community and get them to move. What do you want us to do that for you too? Anyway, last time a whole bunch of white people moved a whole bunch of black people. It kind of didn't go too well for either of them. Probably shouldn't make that joke, but anyway. In America, white people are everywhere, and this uniquely connects perhaps the greatest irony. We, black people, are vastly outnumbered by them. Yes, because America was settled by white people first. It's settled by white people. What's the point? They also own more land and possess more money and have all the guns. People in Chicago might disagree with that. Most of the people making laws are white. Most of the people enforcing them are the entire state, so you can drive through without seeing one of us. So move to that state, and then you'll be the only black people in the village, so to speak. Entire lives that can be led without even having a meaningful interaction with us. So? What? People can say the same thing about South Africa, you know. Don't see white people complaining about that. They complain about the genocide that's going on over there, but not the fact that they're not representative. We are surrounded, outnumbered, out-resourced, and outgunned. Our entire existence here is continuous assault on our bodies. So move. If you don't like America, leave. What's holding you here? But we are the ones perceived to be the threats. We are the ones they're scared of. Who's scared of you? I have friends that are black. I'm not scared of my friends. I'm not scared of anyone. And when I'm walking down the street, say it's midnight, for example, and I'm walking up to someone and they're walking up to me. I don't care if they're black or white. I perceive them the exact same. But you, on the other hand, are kind of sounding a little racist here, dude. We are the ones that tell our children how to dress, how to wear their hair, so they're not thought of as a threat to them. Okay, I don't see braids as a threat, but anyway. We are the ones who subconsciously and consciously modify our voices and our behaviour when forced to interact with them. Well, what do you mean you have to modify your behaviour? That doesn't sound real nice. It's kind of sounding like you're putting on an act. We are the ones who trained officers with weapons and badges and handcuffs are legally justified, are so damn scared of it they've created entire secular base on that fear, teaching ourselves what to do to seem less frightening to them. Really? This fear is why they're obsessed with arming themselves with multiple human killing machines. What, cars? And that's why they fight against even the notion of incremental disarmament. Okay, that's an interesting thing because you have just admitted it's actually incremental disarmament. This is what people were saying with gun control. They're saying that with gun laws, that it's going to be an incremental disarmament. You've just literally admitted to that. They are scared shitless of us. Anyone who is not them, this fear is why their shitty gun laws exist, and that's why they will continue to. Okay, if you believe the American gun laws exist because they're afraid of black folk or black people, you need to go to a college or university and learn about the history of America, because I'm not an American and even I can tell you that's a lot of crap. But anyway, perhaps this fear is guilt-based. No, probably not. And they're scared the same way that were as a kid when you stole some cash from your teacher's purse. Wow, the racism in this article alone. So you assume that all white people stole from you. Okay. Interesting fact, only 4% of white people had slaves. Oh, and by the way, do you remember the Civil War that was literally over white people dying to free slaves, to stop slavery? Like, they literally had a civil war in America to stop slavery. Maybe branding them all with the same brush as a bunch of people that are scared with guilt for slavery mightn't be the best idea, considering you've literally admitted that they're all a bunch of scared white guys with a whole bunch of guns. And you keep waiting for repercussions, but they never came. But that fear, that feeling that you have answers for all your wrongs eventually never quite left. Once again, you're branding every white person as a part of the problem. Hello, 4%. 4% of people had slaves. Literally a civil war to free you. How many people died in the American Civil War to save slaves? Or maybe this feeling is comedic. A belief that once we get on top, we will treat the way that you've treated us. And that fear drives them to do whatever they can to maintain their position. Well, considering you literally have black people actually advocating for that, and considering the whole racism that is written in this argument, if that was the case, I couldn't blame someone. I don't believe it is the case. I believe you're way off base here. But if it was, really couldn't blame them with this. Either way, I doubt we'll see any movement on guns until they acknowledge their pervasive and delusional and self-destructive collective fear and go therapy. And if that doesn't work, maybe we'll just need to buy them some effing maps. Interesting. Why do we need the maps again? Look, at the end of the day, guys, the really scary part about this whole argument is that this is not some low-level peon that's written this article. Damon Young, the guy who wrote this article, the author, is the editor-in-chief of VSB. It's literally the editor-in-chief writing this. Wow. Wow. Yeah. So, my thoughts on all this. To be honest, it's race baiting. He is racist. He is prejudiced. He is everything that he is claiming that white people are. And at the end of the day, it's people like this that give the rest of the people a bad name. The interesting thing is I actually reported this to Twitter just to see what would actually happen. And they sent me a report saying, "We received your report. We'll get back to you within the hour," or whatever. And they never did. So I reported it again. Let's see how long it takes them to last on this one. But guys, look, at the end of the day, look, imagine if a white person was to write the reverse of this. It would be insane. Not to mention the fact that, you go on about all this guilt and everything like that. Okay, fine. Maybe say that is true. Does that mean the genocide that's happening in South Africa at the moment, you're going to have guilt in your land? Probably not. Kind of debunks the argument, doesn't it? But guys, look, at the end of the day, I just wanted to point this article out just to say, look, this is some of the cancer that comes out of the Democrat side. But guys, look, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you think that this is actually a real article? Do you think that this guy is a troll? Do you think it's a parody? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. If this video has been helpful, please smack a like. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. Apart from that, guys, I'll see you in the next demonetized video from YouTube. Have a great day and enjoy.